Hello everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini. Chris is finally here in Florida with me so we can get to do this together. Before we get started with our topics, don't forget to like and follow our pages so you can get all the quick tips, all of the notifications when we go live. Don't forget to share with your friends. And we're ready to get started. So today we're going to be discussing the CA7, the CA16, and the CA17. I know I posted it on all the Facebook sites, and if you guys want to follow along, you have it, and let's get started.
And also, before I start, I want to remind everybody at the front of this thing versus the end when people are jumping off, follow us on Twitter. Yes, I know, when you're done rolling your eyes about Twitter, sign up for Twitter. Get your phone, go to the App Store, the Google Play Store, and get Twitter. Sign up for free. It's actually super easy. Even I did it. And once you get on Twitter, we're going to go ahead and mute this. Hi. Once you get on Twitter, go to follow at Fed Injury Center, not Federal Injury Centers, at Fed Injury Center. You can just follow me. Don't follow anybody else but me. And that way it won't waste your time, because I'm never going to. I'm going to post some quick things on there that are helpful to you. And I think you'll find it to be useful, especially when you're having to deal with your supervisors and they're giving you a hard time, because most of the stuff that I post on there will help sort of combat the stuff that they're doing to you. So, anything else you wanted to say before we get going? At Fed Injury Center on Twitter.
And don't forget, again, those of you that are hopping on, please don't forget to like and follow our page. Tell your friends about this page, and don't forget to share it for tonight. Again, we're going to be talking about the CA7, CA16, and CA17, and Chris is going to do a little special ending about protecting you, your job, and the rights to go along with these forms and all of that fun stuff. So, let's get started.
So let's start with the CA16. Most of you that know me, know us, have heard of the CA16 because we talk about it. If it's the first time for you, likely you've never heard of it. So the CA16 form, at the bottom right corner of these forms it says CA and the number. This one is a 16. The CA16 pays all your bills for 60 days. So when you're hurt at work, would you like a form like this that pays all your bills, or would you like to pay all your bills out of your own pocket? So while you're thinking about that, right, you want the form. So get a CA16 form. So how do you get one? Well, number one, you have to have an injury that happened in a single shift, CA1 injury. Number two, you need to report your injury right away, because if you wait 7 days, you're no longer eligible for a CA16. You are SOL on a CA16 if you wait more than 7 days. So report your injuries right away to your supervisors. So here's the great thing, is once you do that, you report your CA1 claim to your supervisor right away. They have 4 hours to give you a CA16 from when you request it. And you're going to always request a CA16 if you have a CA1 injury. Always. Why wouldn't you? The CA16 pays your bills. So of course you're going to request it. But they have 4 hours, and this is by rule. If you were on Twitter, by the way, at Fed Injury Center, and you were following me, you would see this rule, okay, because it'll be posted there. So at Fed Injury Center on Twitter. But when you tell your supervisor, give me a CA16, they have 4 hours to give it to you. Now, how do they know, or how do you know that they have to give you the CA16? Well, for starters, it's on the CA10 form. So the second part of the CA10 is broken down into two parts. Part one is you can choose your own doctor, and part two is tell your supervisor to authorize care using a form CA16. So when they say, I don't want to give you one or have to give you one, show them the CA10 form. That's the first place that you'll find it. The second place you'll find it, among many places, is in the Code of Federal Regulations. So the CFR says that they have to give it to you. They shall issue a CA16 under the circumstance that it's a CA1 injury, and you report within 7 days. And then once you request it, they have 4 hours to give it to you. 4 hours and 1 minute, file a grievance. because we need to push back on them when they refuse to do what's in your best interest, and you not paying money out of your pocket is certainly in your best interest. So that's a CA-16 form. Now here's the thing, we've told so many people about it that occasionally they show up to one of our offices with a CA-16 form in their hand, and they're so excited they have it, and we look at it, and lo and behold, it's blank. So good try. You found the form and you brought it to us, but it's blank. The front page has got to be filled out by your supervisor and signed. So that's how they authorize care. And then the second page goes to the doctor, but don't worry about that. The doctor, and they should give you a copy back. So just checking, do I need a CA-16 when I file a CA-2? Jackie, I'm really sorry, but on a CA-2, by rule, you're not eligible for a CA-16, only on CA-1 injuries. So that's the 16. But the bottom line is they're required to give it to you if you report within 7 days, and they must give it to you within 4 hours of your request. And if they wait longer than 4 hours, or if they refuse to give it to you at all, file a grievance. Because it's certainly opposite. I don't want to say it's against the law, it's just opposite. We can't take the call right now. We're using the phone for the video. So, anyways, get a CA-16. Now, if your boss says, I don't know what one is, or I can't find it, or I don't want to give it to you, go to federalinjurycenters.com, Federal Injury Centers with an S.com, and go to the Red Forms tab, and click on it, and scroll down to a CA-16 and print all the CA-16s you want. Now, I'm going to tell you in advance, it may be a little bit outdated because we've had it for a little while, and sometimes they update their forms, but at least it shows your supervisor what you're looking for. And if they don't know what it is, they can ask their supervisor, and so on until you get your form. But playing dumb is not a good excuse.
Yep.
They don't get to do that. So the form pays your bills. It's really important. Now, if you come to our offices, it's not as important because we never take money from you anyways. And we get your claims accepted. That's why we're so confident that we'll get paid by Department of Labor. Our doctors know how to get your claims accepted. But, 1 out of 13 people has an accepted claim. The rest of you do not. And, you go into any room and they say, well, 60% of people are hurt, 40%, 70%, 80%. Well, if it's half, that would be like 6.5 out of 13, right? Well, 1 out of 13 people has an accepted claim. So there's a huge difference there. There's a gap of about 6 people out of every 13 that don't get an accepted claim. So you want to have that CA-16 so that if you're in the not accepted category, you still don't have to pay your own bills. DOL will. So that's why it's so important. Don't let them get away with not giving you your CA-16.
Yep.
So this is the point in the presentation where if we were live, I'd say, hey, do you have any questions? But you can't respond back to me. So if you see any questions along the way, let me know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Can we get rid of all that?
Yeah. So again, those of you that are tuning in, we're discussing the CA-7, the CA-16, and the CA-17, and at the very end, we did a little bit of some homework, our research, and talked to our very special, what do we call him? Our
union guru.
Yeah, and we found out some more info on how you can report when your supervisors aren't being fair with you.
I'll need my phone when it's time for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, if you guys have questions about the CA-16, just shoot them out. We'll try to get to them as we're talking. But I think I pretty much nailed that one down as far as the 16 goes. So I want to go now to the 17, because the CA-17 is one that we're seeing a lot of people have problems with as well, which this is the one that surprises me more. The 16 doesn't really surprise me anymore, but when supervisors give you a hard time with the CA-17 form, that surprises me. Because, okay, so the 17 is a duty status report. It is the only way a doctor can restrict your duties, or lift your restrictions, or take you off of work, or send you back to work. The CA-17 is the only way to do it. So, every doctor has their own off work slip that says this patient was in my office under my care this day. Well, that's really no good for you. It works a little bit for your CA-7, and I'll get to that in a minute. But as far as protecting your job, when your duties have been restricted, or protecting your job when you've been taken off of work because of your injury, the only way to protect you is a CA-17. So the supervisor cannot refuse to give it to you.
Right.
I mean, it's divided into side A and side B, and sarcastically, I love this, but I always say, well, what comes first, A or B? Let's see if Gini knows. What comes first, A or B?
I think A.
A's right. So side A says supervisor. Side B says physician. So side A comes first. Who fills it out first? Supervisor. So it has to originate there. And so when you request a CA-17, they need to give it to you. Because you're not requesting it for yourself, you're requesting it to take to your doctor. And the doctor wants to fill it out, and they can't do that without your supervisor giving it to them.
Right.
So, you want to be able to get it from them. If they say no, we're going to print one anyways at federalinjurycenters.com. You're going to get a CA-17, and you're going to take it to your doctor and write on side A that supervisor refused to fill it out, or supervisor refused to give this to me. Because your doctor cannot restrict your duties in any other way. They need that 17. Okay? So if your supervisor refuses to give it to you, that's what you do. You write on there they refused. Another thing you can do, and I can't guarantee it's a violation, but you can call OSHA.
Okay. Lynn, so here goes, Chris. I know you asked, supervisor refuses to fill out a CA-17. What are my next steps? So everybody, please pay attention. Please write these things down. He's going to be answering that now, Lynn.
Okay. So thing number one, print one off of federalinjurycenters.com and have your doctor fill out side B. And on side A, just right, the supervisor refused to fill out side A. Okay, they refused to cooperate, whatever. Supervisor refused.
Yep.
But what I want you to start doing, and this is an idea that I got from our union guru, it seems to be working, so I'd like to get some more feedback from people who do this.
Yes.
Is contact OSHA. So if I'm not mistaken, the phone number is 1-800-321-OSHA, but you can check that. Just go to osha.gov and double check the phone number for me. I just think that's right. It sounds like a number.
I'll check it in a minute, yeah.
That I remember. But
hold on. Nikki, you're saying you don't have a side B on your CA-17, so it's one sheet. If you go back to where I pinned it, there's one sheet and it's just right there, side A, side B.
Yeah, just the paper is divided down the middle of the page, and the right side of the page is B, the left side of the page is A.
Yes.
Towards the top, underneath your demographics, you'll see side A, side B. It actually says side A, side B. So, OSHA. So, a lot of people are uncomfortable contacting OSHA, which makes sense to me. And so, because I don't want to make a complaint that's not valid or that's not legit. And so, how do you know? Well, how do you know if it's legit? Call and ask.
Yeah.
So, call and ask, is it a violation for my supervisor to refuse to give me a duty status report? Is it a violation for my supervisor to refuse to fill out side A so my doctor can write safety restrictions for me on side B? Just ask. If it's not a violation, in their opinion, they're going to say, no, it's not a violation. If it is a violation, well, that's bad news for management because now OSHA needs to show up and investigate. So anytime you're not sure if something is a violation, just call and ask. Nobody can ever be in trouble for requesting information. Is this a violation?
Right.
And so that's the way I like to do it because some people are scared to do it. Some people are just timid that way. And honestly, none of us wants to make false reports. I don't want to make a false report or tell you to. So ask, is this a violation? If enough people ask, I think OSHA is going to have to investigate. And because it is a safety issue, your doctor fills out a 17 to prevent you from being injured further or re-injured at work during the course of treatment. It's part of the treatment plan. And so management can't override a doctor's orders on a 17. They can't refuse to give you a 17 because the doctor needs it. That's how I want you to handle it. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you a list of 5 things you can do when management's giving you a hard time. And we'll see if we can put a stop to it. This is some really good information. Really, really good information.
Nina, you're saying, what if the doctor not filling it out and giving it to you, and you have told them that you had to have it?
So here's how you do this. Nina, you've told the doctor you got to have one. If you don't give the doctor a 17, they're not going to have one. All right, doctors don't keep these forms in their office. They're actually not supposed to. So first of all, you have to hand it to the doctor and say, I need you to fill this out. The doctor should fax it into the supervisor, another copy into OWCP, and give you 2 copies. One copy you keep for yourself in a file. The other copy you hand deliver to management.
Right.
Supervisor can't say they didn't get it if you hand it to them. So if the doctor refuses to do it after that, like say you hand them a CA-17 and they refuse, let us know. We'll see if we can help you with that.
So Nina, you're saying you gave it to the doctor and they refuse to fill it out, I'm going to talk to you about that because I know which doctor you're seeing. So I'm going to help you with that.
Yeah, send Gini a private message or give her a call at 877-787-OWCP, and we'll work it out.
My doctor didn't fill mine out completely either. It's one thing after another.
Yeah, so these CA-17s are kind of confusing, how to fill them out completely. But honestly, if you just go through every box and answer the questions, it's not that hard. The hard part for a doctor is all the restrictions. So if your supervisor wrote your job requirements out properly, then the restrictions should be easy for a doctor to, to write in there.
Christopher, I will take a look at your message after this. Chris and I are together, so we'll go ahead and read that.
And for Nikki saying my doctor never gives me a copy. So here's what you do. Tell the doctor, give me 2 copies. Okay? Give me 2 copies of my CA-17. Just tell them. And that way, that won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Tell them to give you copies. And that goes for everybody. Tell your doctor to give you copies, because I want you to take one to your supervisor and keep one for yourself.
Yeah, always. And then earlier, someone asked, and it went by, you asked when you're... Hold on, let me look at this. Keep going. Let me find this message.
All right, while we're waiting on her. So recap of the 17. You can get them at federalinjurycenters.com. It's supposed to originate with your supervisor, where they fill out side A, you give it to the doctor to fill out side B. And once it's filled out and signed by the medical doctor, it can be signed by a nurse practitioner or PA. It just also has to be signed by the MD. Then you take 2 copies and give one to your supervisor.
Prince, you said my doctor says he doesn't get paid to fill it out. Oh my God.
Okay, so Prince, number 1, this form is so easy. Asking to get paid is embarrassing. Number 2, there's actually a CPT code for it, which is how doctors bill, and they can get paid. So your doctor probably just doesn't know how to get paid to fill it out. They can actually get paid to bill that form once a week by rule. If they try to bill it a second time, they won't. But nobody needs to fill it out twice a week.
And he probably is, maybe he's not credentialed with Department of Labor. You always want to ask them that, because then if they're not at the end of the day, or at the end of all of your going to the doctor, getting your treatment, any therapy, you're going to get a giant bill. So make sure that's the number 1 question you guys ask.
Yeah. Are you credentialed with DOL?
Yeah.
So that's about it on the CA-17. Just understand this. This is the most important part. The CA-17 protects your job when you have to be off of work. Now, you have no benefits until your claim's accepted. And so that's a problem because, like I said earlier, only 1 out of 13 federal employees has an accepted claim. And so your choice of doctor is critically important. Make sure you're finding a doctor who understands how to get this done, or at least who's willing to stay with you and stick with it and fix the problems they cause, because denied claims are the fault of the doctor. So, you want to stick with it. And also, you need to be diligent. So, everybody listening, listen to me. If your claim is denied, you're going to get a letter in the mail that says, among other things, specifically, your claim is denied because. You've got to be able to find the paragraph that starts with the word specifically. Okay? That's going to tell you why it's denied. If it has anything to do with the doctor's report, which, 9.5 out of 10 times it will, take it back to the doctor and tell them to fix it. If they won't fix it, let's find another doctor. Okay? You got to be able to do it. You can always appeal your denials, so don't give up. Anyways, I said all that because you have no benefits until your claim's accepted. Well, the CA-17 is much more effective with an accepted claim as well. So I think that's important for people to understand.
Yeah, somebody wrote, where do I get the CA-17 from? You get it from your supervisor because they have to fill out side A and then turn it in. You can't get a blank CA-17 and bring it to us because then the doctor has no clue what you were doing for him to put you on your restrictions. So
the exception to that being if your supervisor refuses to give it to you.
Right.
Because you want your doctor to write, the supervisor refused to give it. But ideally, it should come from them so they can write your job requirements first.
Yeah. Nikki, you say he never has time to do it. His assistant fills it out.
That's okay, too.
Yeah.
An assistant can fill these out as long as the MD signs it. I'm not a doctor. I could fill one out for a doctor. As long as he reads it, approves it, and signs it, that's okay. That's always okay.
Yeah, I see some new faces on here. Amanda from Georgia, Delvin from New Jersey.
What's up, Amanda and Delvin?
I know there's a few of you been saying hi. I was sitting here trying to share the page, so make sure you guys are sharing it. If I haven't shared it, I'm using Chris's phone, and it's just a retarded phone. You need to upgrade your phone.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. So, let's see. Jana says, management was not available at an appointment time. Doctor filled the CA-17 her part with lifting restrictions.
Without lifting restrictions.
Took that to the supervisor, and I told them to fill out their part, and it would take it back to the doctor for a better restrictions list. Doctor office has CA-17 form. The doctor's office does have a CA-17 form, but you need to make sure the supervisor fills out A first before the doctor fills out B. It doesn't work right if the doctor's filling outside B and then you take it to the supervisor and then you take it back again, filled out to the doctor. So make sure you guys try to do it that way.
So that was confusing. The point is, it's supposed to originate with management. I don't care if the doctor has an infinite supply of CA-17s. It's not supposed to start with the doctor. It only starts with the doctor when management refuses to do their part. But I like what you did. You said, hey, the doctor would like to have what you're writing on here. Let me take it back. That's good. Be proactive. This is your case. You know, this affects you. So good job. That's exactly what you do. Be proactive.
Yeah, Jenna.
Get things done. Make things happen.
Yeah, Jenna, I see you said hello from Ohio, Columbus. Is there a future office? We're working on it. We're trying to get there.
There's going to be a Columbus office eventually.
Yeah, and Jeanette, the only office close to Naples is Dr. Bruce Kammerman in Fort Myers with Dr. DiTomaso, a doctor that Chris trained, and he's really good. So that goes from like Sarasota all the way to Naples in that area. There's no other ones that we know. So if you want to get connected with them, message me and I'll get you in touch with them.
If you find yourself in a visit with Dr. Bruce Kammerman, just be at ease. Your claim's definitely getting accepted. Definitely. It's going to get accepted.
Dr. Toll, no. Stay in the Keys and you keep us on mute. It's fine. You shouldn't even be watching us tonight.
Man, be on vacation, buddy.
You guys look like we're having fun. Yeah, we look like we're having fun when you're posting all your fishing and your food and your boating trips. Don't post those on Facebook anymore.
Dr. Toll earned this vacation. Nobody's gotten more OWCP claims accepted than Dr. Toll.
Yeah.
Period. Nobody. You can take 10 other doctors and they probably combined haven't gotten that many claims accepted. That guy's a machine. Enjoy your vacation, Dr. Toll.
Sue says, if the doctor thinks I'm at MMI, is that on a CA-17?
No. So I'm going to get to that. I want to make sure we've touched on all the 17 stuff. That's going to be with the CA-7. That's where schedule awards are. They're CA-7s. But any other questions on the 17s?
Yeah. Lena says, do you still give your doctor a CA-17 if your claim has been denied and you're still seeking medical treatment?
Yeah. I mean, if your doctor wants to restrict your work duties, that's the way to do it. So yes.
Delvin says, does a CA-17 need to be completed before coming back to full duty, or is it just for light duty?
So a CA-17 goes both ways, Delvin. Number one, it's to restrict your duties, and number two, it's to lift restrictions. So if your doctor has put restrictions on you, but would like to send you back full duty, he needs a CA-17 for that too. So have him fill out another one, lifting all restrictions. That's how you do that.
Dr. Toll is sending hearts. That's why I was giving him a heart back. Prince says, can management force you to accept a job offer back to full duty when you are on limited duty?
All right, so 1-800-321-OSHA. I'd like you to call. Can we double check and make sure about that number?
Yeah.
I want you to call. Listen, when your doctor writes restrictions, it's a medical order, right? Now, your management may have a medical license. 12 times out of 10, they don't. Like, next to never, and then some. Also never. They do not have a medical license. If they had one, they'd be a doctor. So they're not allowed to overrule work restrictions because that's a medical order. So if they do, what we want you to do is contact OSHA and ask, is it a violation for my manager to overrule my medical doctor's written restrictions? Is it? Because it's happening. And my supervisor is trying to put me back to work full duty when my doctor has written restrictions for my safety. Is it a safety violation for my manager to overrule my doctor's safety restrictions? What'd you find out on the phone number? 1-800-321-OSHA?
Yeah.
1-800-321-OSHA. So I'm not saying right now it's a safety violation, but your doctor wrote restrictions for safety purposes. So let's ask, is this a violation? And go from there. Also, you want to file a grievance with your union because they need to follow your restrictions. It's for your own good. It's for your safety and your protection. So file a grievance as well. I know for sure you can do that. But I'd like for people to start calling and asking OSHA, is it a violation?
Okay, there's some questions coming through, and they're coming in quick. Let me see here. So
Bring them. Lightning round.
I know somebody before asked if you can make a copy of the doctor filling out side B and then giving it to the supervisor. So you want the supervisor to fill out your restrictions, what your duties are currently, because a doctor won't know what type of restrictions, and then for you to take it back to the doctor and change it. You might as well just get it done right there and then with the supervisor.
Like, let's say the doctor doesn't know that you do stooping for 4 hours a day. How's he going to restrict that? It's kind of arbitrary, So he needs to see what side A says.
Can a different doctor change what the first doctor filled out on the CA-17? First doctor referred me.
All right, so your treating doctor referred you to another doctor. Can the other doctor make changes or fill out a 17? They can. They definitely can do it. If I were you, I would take it to the treating doctor as well, though, and make sure they're on the same page.
Yeah.
You definitely can do that. A medical doctor can fill out a 17. There's no restrictions on medical doctors filling out 17s.
So, Donna, you said, how long can you work with a limited duty job offer? I've not been able to do my job since October. According to my doctor, I haven't reached MMI yet. Is there a time limit that you can have temporary limited job duty offers?
No, not really. However, management sometimes wants to push you around. You need to go to unions for that and make sure that they're on the same page with you. But there's no rule that says that your limited duty can only last so long. I mean, what if you have multiple surgeries, right? Like, let's say you have like a knee surgery or back surgery and it's failed, and you have another back surgery and that fails. I mean, does a time limit stop because you had more surgeries? So, that's just one example. But no, there's no limit to how long you can be on limited duty. Just know that at some point, your agency may offer you a permanent limited duty position that I recommend you consider and go over with your union, with the steward or the president or something, and review it and see if that's something that works for you.
So we had Cynthia said sometimes the supervisor tells you to fill it out. Oh, God.
Well, hey, if the supervisor tells you to fill it out, but maybe write down somewhere that the supervisor made me fill it out. Just always be honest. Tell the truth. The truth protects you, and so if the management does that to you, then just write on there they made you do it.
Yeah. Linda says, I got released to go back to work with no restrictions. So does the doctor have to fill out a CA-17 before I can return to work full time?
So if the doctor wrote any restrictions before, they need to do a new CA-17 removing all the restrictions. If you're released full duty, the CA-17 does that by just removing restrictions.
Okay. This is my worry too. Yeah, we get a lot of people. Oh, and a lot of you have been calling and asking us and messaging us about if you should take a job offer after you've been given the CA-17, and if we know what the duties are in a different job. We have no clue other than this.
Yeah, it's going to be different for every person because every person's restrictions are different. And so management, ideally, if they have your best interest at heart, we'll write limited job offers that are individualized to you.
Yeah, we don't know what your job description will be. We don't know what the limited stuff is within the office. I mean, get with your steward, get with your union.
Maybe they're going to move you to a new craft. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, we can't say yes, that's going to happen, or no. We have no clue what goes on after the doctors fill out the stuff that we educate you on.
But check it out. This affects you more than it affects anybody else. And while we always encourage you to, get involved with your union to advocate for you, and we want to advocate for you, remember this: you have to advocate for you as well, and harder than anybody else.
Yeah.
And so look at what they're offering you. And first, number one decision is, does that work for me? Does it work for me? Take it to your doctor. Hey, doc, does this work for me? Medically, can I do this? And then take it to your union and say, does this work for us? But definitely, you need to advocate for yourself.
And Heather, you said, management sucks and lies. Let me tell you something. In the last 3 days, I've had, and now my eyes are going to tear up, I've had a handful of employees call where they've lost their homes.
Or about to.
You people buy homes like you're invested in it 25 years. You're at your job for like 35 years. You have kids. You need to feed them. You don't have any income coming in. And this affected me. Like I told Chris just yesterday, I'm just going to body slam a supervisor. And it hurts to see that you guys are going through this.
She's actually really small. That'd be hard for her
but
to
I can body slam.
Some of them are really little, though.
I could body slam you.
Some of the supervisors are small. She could probably take them. We
know that it's hurtful. And I said this today to a carrier. I understand what it's like when you don't have income coming in. It truly hurts us.
We've all been there.
We've been there. And you think we haven't, as both of us.
Not that long ago.
We've been there. Both of us have been in your shoes. So when you guys are calling and you're crying and you're frustrated and telling us you don't have any income, it affects us. He tears up every time he just gets angry about a supervisor going overboard with people. And I tear up because I'm hearing everyone cry to me on the phone and I can't do anything with the supervisors. So I'm gonna have
but the last section, the last segment of this broadcast, stick around to the end. Listen to me, stick around to the end. In fact, share this now. Tell your friends to jump on. There are right now 70 people viewing it. I don't know why it's not 700, because the end of this thing is going to be a game changer. Okay, I sat and talked with the union president in Florida yesterday.
Yeah.
And the information was so good, I had to slow him down so I could take notes. I mean, for real, this is going to be a game changer. Everyone needs to hear what I'm about to tell you, but I'm not doing it to the end. Stick around. I got more stuff to talk about first.
Nina, you said you filed bankruptcy and you lost your car.
Damn it.
That stuff, you have no clue how afterwards we hear you guys or we get on the phone calls with you guys, and I can't hold it in. I'm just crying with them, and he just wants to rip someone's head off, and supervisors, that is, and I'm just going to go around body slamming.
Or whoever.
I mean, this bothers us a lot.
So here's the silver lining for the whatever. The good news is when your claim gets accepted, you get to get your money back and your time back. But in the meantime, you're struggling, you're suffering. And so, everybody's got to advocate for themselves. Do not get pushed around, push back. And when your doctor does a bad job, find another doctor. Or be in your doctor's face and make him do a better job. And when your claims examiner doesn't, take action for 6 weeks, call every day. I mean, why would you not? Call every day. Who else is this affecting? Call every day. When the claims examiner says, why do you keep calling me? Tell them, because you haven't made a decision yet. I mean, at least deny it and let me go do something about it. But do something, right? So advocate for yourself, first and foremost. I mean, we're always going to do everything we can, and we believe your unions, most of the time are going to do what they can. But, management often is against you, and, the system's complicated. And so it can feel like it's against you. So you've got to advocate for yourself. You need to push through this thing, and we'll do our best to push with you.
Just today in the car, I was telling Chris, we went to a meeting and I was coming back and I said, you know what? It sucks. And I keep telling him, I want to body slam a supervisor because drop kick them.
In the
something.
Forehead.
Yeah,
Drop kick
kickbox them in the face. Because you know what? When you guys are all losing your jobs, all losing your homes, all losing your cars, filing bankruptcy, you don't have money to put food on the table for your kids, which that touches me. And they still have a job, they're still making their money, and they could give a rat's beep about, hey, we did that in sync.
It's not family friendly. It's all us grown-ups.
They don't care. So when we tell you what to do and be patient if we're putting you with the right doctor, do it all the right way. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers to contact us. We know we don't have doctors in 50 states, and he sits there, I sit on my computer, and we're looking for the list on ACS so you guys don't have to go through it because it's just a process to just find a doctor on ACS. It's not easy, but we're trying. So when we tell you what to do, please listen and follow what to do.
I mean, or not, but it's your life.
Yeah.
So, there's questions coming in, but I'm going to move on and talk about the CA7. We can get some of the questions at the end before I get to the last thing. In the meantime, I mean, seriously, what are you waiting for? Share. Gee, just share this. Just hit the share button. It's easy. Hit share. Look down there. Hit share. Your friends need to see this. Call somebody. Call them. Tell them to get on. Everyone needs to see what I'm going to talk about at the end of this. It's going to be a big thing. But let me go ahead. We're going to get to the questions in a minute. I'm going to talk about CA7s because who cares about getting paid? Everybody, right? So let's all pretend that you're the 1 out of 13 that has an accepted claim. By the way, if you're a patient at one of our offices, it's more like 12 or 13 out of 13. Our claims eventually get accepted. We can't do anything about claims examiners who lazily read through a report and skip the part that says the causation.
Yeah.
But we always go back and fix it. So occasionally denials happen even with our patients. But make an effort to get to a place where the doctor knows how to get your claim accepted. It's really important. We're meeting a doctor today who's just a different specialty, but we needed help from him. And I said, look, our doctors are going to refer to you all day long, but here's the deal: we don't do denied claims. Okay. So you need to be on board with writing these 5-page reports, and if you're not, we need to find somebody else. So thankfully he was on board. But your doctor, you got to be able to tell him the same thing. Are you on board with writing the report the way it needs to be written so my claim can get accepted? Advocate for yourself. All right, with that said, so CA7, that's a claim for compensation. It's how you get paid when you're off of work. Well, that's a big deal, right? But you only access that if your claim is accepted. So let's get in that 1 out of 13. Let's raise that, okay? Let's raise it to 7 out of 13. That's a more accurate number. That probably reflects 100%. So CA7s. So it's broken into 4 parts, all right? It's broken into leave without pay. Now I want to CA7. Schedule awards at the bottom. Anyways, here's the deal. When you need time away from work, you've got to have a CA7, claim for compensation. And then you got to turn that into your supervisor, okay? The supervisor has to fill out page 2, all right? And then they have, by law, 5 days to turn that into DOL. Now, you should turn these in every 2 weeks. That's a 7A. You should turn these in every 2 weeks so that you're paid regularly, okay? But here's the deal. If you turn it in without supporting documentation, you're not going to get paid. So you'll wait 2 weeks to turn it in, and then you'll have to wait like at least a week to get the denial letter in the mail before you realize, A, I didn't get paid, and B, it's going to be delayed. So it's broken in 7A. I mean, the CA7 is broken into 4 parts. Leave without pay, that's when you're taken off of work, right, and you're not clocked in. Leave buyback, that's when you want to go back and get time back that you used in the past, like sick and annual leave, and you'd like to get it back. Other wage loss, which almost never applies, and then schedule award. And somebody asked about it, so in a minute I'll explain that. But you need to, usually, when you're taking time off of work because of your work injury, it's A, leave without pay, okay? And so you need supporting documentation. I don't need it anymore. Okay. So what's your supporting documentation? A CA17, right, that took you off of work. Because medically, if the doctor takes you off work, that's good documentation. So attach a copy of the CA17. Another thing you want is copies of the appointments. So remember in the beginning I said the doctors all have their off-work slips? Well, that works really good for this. So go ahead and take that because it says, this person was under my care for this day, and attach it. Make sure the doctor signs it. That's really important. Like, that'll really help you. And then I was watching a training PowerPoint presentation for management. And the presentation said that attach a CA20 to CA7s. So a CA20 is like a medical narrative. Okay, your doctor just fills it out, and it gives a status update. So get your doctor to fill out a CA20 and attach that as well. And so now when you're turning in your CA7 form to get paid, you've got a supporting documentation. You've got a 20, CA20. You can get that at federalinjurycenters.com, all the CA20s you want. You want to attach your CA17 if you have one that took you off of work. And then copies of all your appointments, your appointment log that the doctor gives you. Send all that stuff in. If you send a CA7 in with no supporting documentation, you're going to get denied. And now you got to wait on your payment, and that's not fair. So don't turn it in without supporting documentation. Somebody asked about impairment ratings. In order to get paid, you take your impairment rating report and attach it to a CA7 and select D, Schedule Award. Okay, attach the report to the CA7 and get that turned in. That's how you get paid on a Schedule Award. It's with a CA7. So we got questions.
Yeah, Terry, unfortunately, we can't post a sample letter of of a narrative because everybody's different. So the wording is going to be different. I mean, like, Dr. Chris is going to write his way of writing.
I'm not a doctor.
Versus Dr. Gini is going to write my
Nurse.
thing. I'm giving an example.
Hey, but I can talk about these narrative reports.
Yeah,
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, we could, Terry, give me a call and Chris can walk you through it. I mean, he can advise you on some things, but at the end of the day, we're not doctors, and unfortunately, we can't post samples because, I mean, sample could mean anything: a head injury, neck injury, shoulder, like it's just be too much, and we just can't put that info.
With that said, Terry, if they'd let me as a non-doctor write these reports, I'd probably get all the claims accepted myself. And I'm just one person, but I could probably do it, me and some of my friends who know how to do this. Because there's a formula for it. And so I'm going to just tell you what it is. The doctor has got to write your job description. What does this person do all day long? And then the second paragraph is, what do they do that day to get hurt? And then the third is, causation. How did that injury lead to these diagnoses? It's really important. And then, don't put in crappy diagnoses that everybody knows will get denied. And, don't put ambiguous statements in there that make it sound like as a doctor you're not sure of yourself. Those are really important parts. But the most important part is the causation, where the doctor is clearly linking the injury to the job that day or to the job over that period of time and why the repetitive motions cause the injury or whatever. So, and all of that takes a lot of time. That's like a 5-page report. And every injury is different. That's why a sample report's awfully hard to produce, because they don't all apply. And sometimes our doctor will write a narrative based on some other doctor's report. And so we got to see that specialist report before we can do our thing. So that's why it's kind of complicated to say that. But we'd sure, like, if you have one you'd like us to look at, we'd be glad to look at it. I'd be happy to look at it and tell you where the holes are in it.
Yeah, we got a private message. I'm not going to say the name because it's private. They wanted to know what is included in a narrative that would get accepted by DOL.
Well, I just said it.
Can you say it again?
Most importantly is extremely great detail connecting all the dots between the injury and the job and the diagnosis. So many doctors will say, well, patient so-and-so bent over to lift a box and felt pain in their back. Denied. That's not nearly enough. There's so much more detail that goes along with it. Like, what was that pain? What did they injure? Did they injure a ligament, a disc, a bone, a tendon, a muscle? And if so, what's the diagnosis for that? And how do you know? Prove it. Okay, is there an MRI? Was there an x-ray? And if there was, what did it show? And how is that caused by the job? And so it's really complicated, and a lot of doctors won't take the time or honestly don't understand it. They went through medical school and maybe they can remove your spleen, but they can't write this report.
Yeah.
Because it takes some training. And Terry, please call. We'll be happy to help.
Yeah, Heather, you said, I have no idea when or what caused the injury, like my rotator cuff. It just started hurting and slowly got worse. I can't pinpoint a day or anything that I did. I'll have Chris answer that, but we did talk about a CA1 and a CA2, which one to file, and this is a perfect time for you to go back in our last week's chat that he actually talked about that question to answer.
Yeah, but how do you pinpoint a day on a CA2? You really got to do the best you can, and because you don't always remember. Sometimes you've been dealing with this for years. So you do the best you can and get as close as you can. And in the end, when you're being truthful, your odds of getting an approval go way up. So when you write it down, when you feel like you're being as truthful as you can, don't lose any sleep over it. You did the right thing.
Yeah. Laura says, my work comp was approved on February 28th, had surgery on March 18th, and my 45-day continuation of pay stopped on March 15th. They still don't have my CA7. I'm sick of calling and harassing them. What do I do?
All right, so if they don't have your CA7, that means your supervisor didn't send it in. There's not a second thing. So hopefully you still had a copy of it. Otherwise, go to your supervisor and get a copy yourself and send it in yourself. Go to Google and search OWCP Ecomp, ECOMP, Ecomp. That's one word. and go to the eComp page. It's like the first thing on Google, and scroll down to access file and upload document, and put your own information in and upload it. Do what it takes. But if you have to do that step, include a page that says, I gave this to my supervisor on such and such date, and they never sent it in, violating the 5-day rule. Okay? And then, you're not getting paid, and so that's a problem too. And in just a minute, I'm going to go over 5 things you can do when management does this stuff to you.
Yeah, let me get to these questions real quick, and we're going to end with those supervisor stuff. Peggy said, my husband had a 40% rating from his doctor. Work comp sent him to another doctor. It was rated 6% by him. Work comp only paid the award of 6%. Injury was to both hands.
Contact Eric Blowers. This is generally something that you're going to need some extra help with. He's a lawyer. Now, he may talk to you and tell you how to do this on your own, but send Gini a message. She'll get you Eric's number. He's an expert in that, and there could be a good reason it went from 40 to 6, but wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, you guys try to make copies of your stuff when you're giving it to the supervisors. Fax it yourself, e-comp it yourself. Always, always keep a copy of everything you're giving to your supervisor.
Now,
you just can't.
That's right, but on the CA7, the supervisor has to fill out the second page, and so be sure you get a copy of everything. Yeah. Look, advocate for yourself. Don't leave there. Like, here's a CA7. That's how I get paid. I hope you do the right job. I'm leaving now. No, that's your pay.
Yeah.
Get a copy back. If they don't get your CA7 within 5 days, do it yourself. It's your money. Okay? And then file a grievance. File a grievance. File a grievance every time your supervisor does something that hurts you financially. File a grievance.
Jim, I'm reading this question and my head is spinning. It says, I've been waiting for over 5 weeks for approval for surgery. They said it's being reviewed. They told me it would be 2 weeks. Any reason why it would take so long?
All right, so approval for surgery, it's called in medical terms pre-authorization. And so the surgeon has to request authorization in advance, pre-authorization of the surgery. Now, let's say that, and it doesn't matter to me what your diagnosis is because this applies to everybody, this situation. Let's say you have a back injury and your diagnosis is lumbar strain. Okay, a strain is the lowest level diagnosis you can have. They will never approve a surgery on a lumbar strain. So before you can even have surgery, your doctor's got to have a diagnosis approved that would warrant surgery, like a herniated disc, as an example, would warrant surgery. And then it would be automatic, like they'd approve it in hours versus weeks. So first of all, what's your approved diagnosis? Okay. Second of all, did your doctor request pre-authorization? That's really important. You should ask that. Hey doc, when did you request pre-authorization? And you may not know this, and you probably don't. Pre-authorization is done electronically through the ACS website. It's a portal. They just log in and request it electronically. And so it should never take 5 weeks. It may be that the doctor made a mistake. I'm not going to accuse your doctor. I don't know them. But check. And number 2, check your diagnosis. Does it even warrant surgery? And that could be the problem. And by the way, feel free and give me a call or message me privately on this, and I'll see if I can work with you on it, because I sure hate that you're waiting for that.
Do supervisors need to sign every CA7?
Yes. The second page is 100% supervisor.
I know, Barbara, you said that you guys have, everybody should submit stuff to the, what is it called? The, where'd it go? To your comp department. Sometimes they misplace it too. So the best thing for you to do is get it straight to your claims examiner instead of going through all that. At least somebody's going to get it, and you have your own fax transmission that it got there. So sometimes you need to take these things upon yourself.
Yeah, and you can mail
just to
it.
Stay safe.
Like certified mail, fax, e-comp. Some things they don't want you to e-comp, so just double check that. But I mean, if you don't want me to e-comp it, but my supervisor refuses, I might e-comp it anyways.
So when you get hurt on the job, who pays the medical bills?
Department of Labor pays the medical bills when you're hurt at work after your claim's accepted. They're the payer, just like Blue Cross Blue Shield is if you have private health insurance.
Yeah.
So Department of Labor is a payer of medical services for federal work injuries with accepted claims.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of other personal questions. We're going to answer those after, but I was trying to find a drum roll so we could do the drum roll. So, how can I show you my narrative letter for reconsideration?
Send it to me.
Holly, go ahead and message me and take a picture of it, or send it to Chris Helms' Facebook page or my Facebook page, and we'll take a look at that. So, here goes. You guys need to get a paper and a pen. I was going to say a piece of pen and a paper. A paper and a pen, and write these things down. I saw you guys saying that your supervisors are bullying. I mean, we must talk about supervisors every week. And last week when we were in Wisconsin, or actually this week, Sunday, we highly spoke about all the statutes and rules. And for those of you just coming on in the middle, yesterday we sat with our little OWCP guru. He's our favorite guy. And gave Chris some more great information to discuss on our Wednesday night chats. Oh, thanks, Donna. Drum roll. We got a drum roll. So this is really good when the supervisors are bullying you, threatening you, all of that stuff that they're not supposed to do. Right now is a good time to write this stuff down and pay close attention. And I want to see that 101 turn into like 1,001. So tell everybody to get on right now as we go over how to drop kick the supervisors with laws.
I mean, so all joking aside,
Yeah.
In all seriousness, this may be the most important thing I've ever said to you.
Yeah.
So you have like just a moment now to get all your friends on. Okay, this could be like the game changer difference between management continually giving you a hard time,
Yes.
and as a group, all of us putting a stop to it. Okay, so we were with Al, the state president here, and he's the one guy I go to when I need help, because nobody knows more than him.
Oh, yeah.
Period. And just when I'm really starting to feel full of myself and thinking I'm pretty good at this, I need to go have lunch with Al, because he'll bring me back down and remind me this guy knows some stuff. So, I'm always telling him that, Al, you've been doing this for over 30 years. I'm in this for just over 10 years, and I'm already sick of management. How do you put up with this for so long? And he said, look, write this down. This is what I want you to start telling people. And so you're the first group I'm telling. And please share this with all your friends.
Yes.
Just please share this. He says, okay, when management gives you a hard time, let's say they refuse to give you a CA1. They refuse to give you a CA2. Okay? Or they write false statements on the second page of the CA1. Or they fail to turn your CA1 into DOL within 10 days. Or ever. It gets lost in the trash can. Or they don't follow your work restrictions. Or they refuse to give you a CA16. Okay? Or they threaten you with retaliation or termination if you report an injury. Okay? Those are the worst. All right? So you fear for your job because you want to report an injury because you're actually hurt. Or any of a number of other things. These are 5 things you can do to protect yourself and protect your coworkers in the future because management is going to stop.
Yeah.
Number 1, with an assumption that you're involved with your union or not, get involved. And here's what you do with number 1. File a grievance with a steward. Now, of course, you can file one yourself, okay? But get your stewards involved. All right, Al says that get a steward involved. That's very powerful. Number 2, EAP. That's employee assistance. So get with the EAP and tell them what's going on, okay? Because they're supposed to advocate for you and have them help you. You need assistance, so do it. It's a nice step to do, EAP. Number 3 is file an EEO. And it's going to be really important. He said as long as you're working with your union, they can help you with this. And so now you'll have an agency coming down on your agency for treating you in a way that's unfair and unlawful. Number 4, OSHA. 1-800-321-OSHA. He liked the idea of just calling and asking if it's a violation. Is it a violation for management to refuse to allow me to file a work injury? Well, I can tell you that number 10 on the 10-point list of things that happen to employees on OSHA's website is not allowing them to file a work injury. So it's definitely a violation. You should ask. So when things like this happen, contact OSHA and ask if it's a violation. Let them check it out. All right? And when they check it out, they're not going to come in and look at one thing. They're going to come in and look at everything. And I promise you, nobody wants that. So let that be a thing you do. And number 5, with the assistance of your union, contact the labor board. Okay? Al turned me on to a website that had these these labor board violations with penalties.
Yeah.
And it was like the rabbit hole for me. I got lost in it. I couldn't believe all this stuff. And so this is a powerful step. I made it number 5 on purpose. That is a powerful step. And so get with your union and file a grievance. Go to EAP and get assistance. File an EEO. Contact OSHA and ask if it's a violation. And get with your union and file with the labor board. This is the biggest thing I could have told you. If you will start doing this, management's going to hate me for telling you, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But what they're going to do is they're going to get penalized.
Yeah.
And enough of them will be penalized that they have to stop, because these penalties come with financial punishment or worse. Okay, one thing that hasn't happened yet that we've seen is that there's a penalty for some of these things that are from 1 to 5 years in prison and from $500 to $10,000 fines. And when you start hitting these people from the labor board, that's where that stuff comes from. So don't let them get away with it anymore. All right, you've got to protect yourself, advocate for yourself, get involved with your union, and do the 5 things I just told you. It's the most important thing I can tell you, other than report your injury on the same day, right away, so you don't lose your benefits. But when it comes to management abusing you and taking advantage of you, this is how you fix it. So any questions about that? If anybody would like some help with that, give us a call or message us. We'd love to help. And
what was the website that you went to for some of these? Well, one, you can go on OSHA.gov, and in the search button, you'll put postal violations. And I went on it while I was with him, and we've spoken about this. Go to postal violations, and I'm not joking. There's like hundreds of pages. You just have to go through and see all the stuff that's been on there. And I was reading them, and I couldn't believe the fines that some of these post offices were getting. I mean, like, one was like 126,000, 179,000, 26,000. So the post offices do get fined. All of you have to be together as a union, as co-workers, as friends and family within the post office, within AFGE, wherever you're working, doesn't matter what agency, and continue to file the grievances. Like he said to us yesterday, everybody's got to do it. Everybody's got to file grievances. Any little thing they refuse, file a grievance. It's like, I should make a shirt that says #file a grievance.
Yeah, and where do I go? It's called MRS, a Materials Reference System. You can find it at the National Association of Letter Carriers website, in fact, NALC. But it looks like a manual. But you can go and look up OWCP in the index or a table of contents, and you'll be able to look at this stuff. But you can see all the labor board results. It's really educational.
Maureen wants to know, what is the labor board?
Well, so your union and your agency will answer to the labor board with conflicts, when there's conflicts between the union and the agency. And the labor board is like the referee. They're like the judge.
And another one too. I know Jerry is but
your union knows what the labor board is, okay? Just go to your union. That's what you need to do anyways. Don't do this yourself.
We have Jerry out in Virginia. She's like, I swear to God, the sweetest, biggest advocate of ours. Like, we
love Jerry.
She tags my name on everything. So a lot of you that are new, when she puts call Sarojini, or whatever, it's me. I'm Gini. Sarojini is my real name, and Gini. So she'll say, call Sarojini. So I'm the Sarojini, because some of people today were like, who's the girl that's on the Facebook Live? Yeah, it's me, Sarojini. That's how you say my name. I go by Gini. And so Jerry says to contact your congressperson, your congresswoman, your congressman. I've heard that it works. I mean, if enough of you are calling every day about these things, yes, you should do it.
Yeah.
What about occupational disease? What's the process if later you became aware of the condition?
That's a CA2. Occupational disease is a CA2, and you have 3 years from the date that you reasonably should have known it was work-related to report your injury. So, define reasonable. But if you've been dealing with something for the last year and today you wake up and say, I think this is because of work, now you have 3 years to report it. But why would you wait 3 years? Just go report it now.
Yeah, Javon, I think I am going to make a shirt that says #file a grievance, and I'm going to wear it to a union meeting.
How about that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hashtag everything.
Labor board.
Labor board. I'm going to hashtag
EEO. No, I'm going to put all 5 steps on mine.
Let's see. Our shop steward tells management that our CA7 must have one number in it regarding restrictions.
I mean, the CA7 doesn't have restrictions. That's a CA17, but maybe that's what you're talking about. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to be restricted, there has to be at least one thing restricted. Otherwise, it's a no restriction.
Monique,
so
you said
right.
Monique said was told to go back to our doctor and change our restrictions. But what was the reason for it?
And told by who?
Yeah. Who's telling you to go back and change your restrictions? If you can only lift 2 pounds, it's 2 pounds that you can lift because you have a arm issue, a shoulder issue, and it's the medical professional that's telling them you can't do this because he's the one that evaluated you. That's why when you're going there, there's so many little things we have you do to see what you really can and cannot do.
So, look, you can go back and you can tell the doctor, change my restrictions. Now, a good doctor should say, no, I wrote these on purpose. You need the restrictions. It's for your safety. You can do it, though.
She said walking 2 to 4 hours. Now, why would they want to change your restrictions? Now, if you get better...
They want her to walk more than 4 hours so she can carry the mail or
yeah, I mean, like, if you get better...
Around, whatever the job is.
Yes, get your restrictions changed if you start to get better. But if you're getting worse...
or if you're not getting better yet.
Yeah, and I also saw somebody put earlier that... I can't remember what I was going to say, but I like to see... Oh, we're at 129. I said 1,000.
33.
Yeah, Jerry, yeah. Congressperson or representative. I don't know why. I blanked out when you put
Did
that.
you say congressman?
Men.
Some of them are women.
I said women, too.
Some of the best ones.
Can management try to tell me I have to work overtime if my 8-hour... If I'm on an 8-hour clerk per my CA17 and FMLA...
No, if you're restricted to no more than 8 hours, they can't have you work 8 hours in 1 minute.
Octavia, I don't know why you can't hear us.
Okay, so if you're watching this on your computer, you may have your volume muted. If you're watching on your phone, you may have your volume muted. I think everybody else hears us, so check your device. That happens sometimes.
Hector, is there a limit on how many FMLA days I can use?
Yeah, I think it's 90 days a year. But Hector, if you have a CA17 with an accepted case, you don't need an FMLA. Your CA17 will protect you from being off of work. The FMLA protects you for like 90 days a year, but you don't need to use it. Or let me put it a different way. You don't have to waste your FMLA days if you have a CA17 with an approved case. So just know that. If not, an FMLA is probably very helpful for you, okay? And we recommend it.
Oh, now I remember what the question was because it was so far up. You said the reason why some of this stuff happens is because the supervisors don't know. They don't. They're not educated. We hear that all day long. They're not educated. They don't
care. Or they're malicious.
Yeah.
Or jerks.
You guys, I've already said this. If you die tomorrow doing your job, they don't care because they're still alive and they're going to have their job.
And they'll just replace you.
Your job, I remember I posted this and a bunch of you, I think I had like 90 shares about like if I died tomorrow, my job would be replaced within minutes. Yes, it will. So they don't care. So when we're telling you, like Chris just went through all those 5 things you have to use against supervisors, do it. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
You have to be your own advocate and you have to get educated. And this is why we do this for free every Wednesday night, and we come out to the unions and educate you guys.
And you cannot be penalized for filing an OSHA complaint. It's like one of the things, like you can't be penalized for having a work injury. You also can't be penalized for filing an OSHA complaint. You can't be penalized for calling the labor board, for filing an EEO. They can't penalize you, punish you in any way for doing things to protect yourself. But just in case, let your union get involved. You've got to get involved with your unions. It's really important. When these things come up, believe me, you want them. You may think, for all the time you've been involved, you may say, I don't need this. But when you need it, you want it. Okay, you want it to be there for you. So use it. And so that's definitely what you want to do. Involve the union and they'll help protect you while you're protecting your own rights and advocating for yourself.
Eileen, it's never too late to follow us and to get to know us. I mean, this is why we do this. We hear that every time. We go into unions and, we hear, I wish I would have known you guys 10 years ago.
And you know what?
Fine.
Now that you know about us, there's no reason not to let your coworkers know because we don't want the next person 3 years from now saying, I wish I would have known when they could have heard it from you. So, the reason we're doing this is we want you to go tell people. for too long. Like since the beginning of time, nobody's done what we're doing right now. Nobody's got on for free and said, hey, let me help you. And that's what we want to do. So we need you to share this with everybody because we want everyone to benefit from this.
Yeah.
We're not asking for anything in return, just to watch.
Don, I know earlier you put even your union doesn't have any education. You know,
We're working on that.
We're working on it. I don't know what city and state you're in. It's hard for us to go to a union because you know what happens is, let's just say we go to Iowa. We don't have a doctor there. Chris is not trained a doctor there. We go and you guys know all this information and all you have is a walk-in clinic or an ER doctor and they can't get your case accepted.
And so what you do is you go to that doctor and you let them know you're not putting up with any crap. Okay? A 5-sentence paragraph is not going to get my case accepted. 5 pages of great detail. Make it happen, doc. And then look at the report before it goes in. Advocate for yourself. But let me tell you something. You're saying my union doesn't know anything. That's not uncommon. I mean, there's a lot to know. If you're a union rep, you don't just have to know about OWCP. You have to know about so many things. Look, I have to be an expert in this one thing. There's probably other things I know about, but nothing like I know about this. So, but the good news is they're letting us come teach. I was just in Kentucky teaching, and it was so much fun. Okay, and that was my first time in Kentucky. But they were really responsive, and they wanted the help. We were just in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It was the best response I've ever had from one of the classes I teach.
Who was all in the Wisconsin rural carrier
If
convention?
you were there, I'm grateful for all the good feedback.
Drop it in the comment. I was there.
We got some really great feedback from that.
Yeah, it was a great time.
I've done this so many times, and sometimes I kind of take my own teaching for granted, but when I left that meeting, I was kind of re-energized.
Yeah.
Regenerized is definitely not a word.
I was going to say, what is that?
I was re-energized to do this and looking forward to it. We've got meetings coming up in Alabama and Chicago. Where else? Atlanta, we have something coming up. Another one in Kentucky.
Yeah.
We're invited back out for the next one in Wisconsin. And,
Eileen was there.
Oh, and how am I going to forget? Florida this week. We're going to be in Florida this week with the rural carriers. I'm so excited. Okay, look, if you're from Florida and you're a rural carrier, show up to Gainesville. Okay, because I'm bringing down the house on this one. I got warmed up with in Wisconsin. This one's going to be just as good. So, we're doing our best to teach the stewards and the unions, and in a lot of ways they're receptive to it. Some of the unions still aren't. Some of them at the top level in DC have rules against having us there, and we respect that. But if any of you locals would still like to have us, all it takes is an invite from the president, and we'll be there.
Yeah. So again, just to kind of wrap up, we went over how to and when to file a CA7, a CA16, and a CA17, and the 5 laws, or what do you want to say, rules?
5 remedies for fighting back against management.
Bullying. I see you guys keep putting the word bullying. Yes. Don't let them take advantage of you at all.
File a grievance. Go to the EAP, Employee Assistance. File an EEO. Contact OSHA and ask if it's a violation. There's no harm in asking. And then get with your union and file labor with the labor board. Those things are going to help you. This is some of the best advice I've ever received, and I'm giving it back to you tonight. So definitely use it. And if anybody's got questions about it, give me a holler. And if there's a question I can't answer, there's a first time for everything. I'll ask somebody.
Jeanette, yes, we're excited to be in Gainesville on Florida. For those of you that don't know, we're going to the NRLCA, another one, because we were in Wisconsin on Sunday. We're going
The rural carriers are the best at inviting us in.
Yeah.
Nobody is more willing to have our help than the rural carriers, and we're grateful for that because we just want to help. But we've got a really great one coming up in Alabama with another union too. So and in Kentucky it wasn't rural carriers. We've got some locals that are really on board with this, and we're with you. We're all in.
You guys asked for Kansas City, Missouri, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. So Michigan, I know it's a large state. The only doctor close to you guys in Michigan is Dr. Toll in Indianapolis, and he has quite a few patients that actually travel from Michigan to Indianapolis. Like we said, we're going to try to put more locations, but trust me, it doesn't happen overnight. it's just Chris and I and Tom and Joe. It's just the four of us, and it's really not easy. We have to get doctors that are honest, doctors that are not in it for the money, doctors who truly want to take 3 hours to help you if they need to, and write a great report, and where Chris has to go out and train them to write a good report. So any city carriers as well.
And city carriers as well, yeah.
Tammy, I don't, somewhere in Gainesville. I have the address. I can text it to you because I have your,
Yeah, you and Scott should come up.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, I'm sure.
We're just going to be there for the day. I mean, I'd love to stay longer.
And Chris is going to be doing a kick-ass presentation because his Wisconsin presentation was out of this world. I told him I was so proud of him for doing that.
I got a good night's sleep the night before.
Yes, there are doctors in Florida, Fort Myers and in Clearwater, Florida. Great team. Dr. Kammerman is the MD in the Fort Myers office, and in the Clearwater office, he's an amazing MD.
It's worth the trip. If you're thinking, gosh, that's so far away, look, the drive is not as bad as what a deny claim is. With that one set in.
Mary, this is what we do. So when we go to the conventions, we are training you guys, or the stewards, to train and assist all the other people out there. So basically, Chris is doing a hour and a half training, and then we
answer one-on-one questions at the end.
We answer questions at the end. New Jersey, we're working on it, and Ohio, we're working on it.
Corby. Okay, look, Corby, I'm so glad you asked. Doctors in Texas. So, funny story. I'm from Texas. If you can't hear the accent, it's only because I'm in every other state all the time. But I'm a Texan. I'm a 5th-generation Texan. I've been there a very long time. And I worked for a very large doctor in Texas for a long time. I had 4 Texas offices after that. And we had a very hard time getting traction in the unions in Texas for reasons I'd just rather keep to myself. And so it was hard to have access to the employees in Texas. It's just really hard because I can't teach you if I show up to a room and it's empty. You know, I need you to be there. And so it was awfully hard to continue operating in Texas when there was so much need in other places where they actually wanted me to be there. With that said, a very, very good friend of mine who I trust, I would trust my family to go to, is in Grand Prairie, Texas, and in Arlington.
Yes, Arlington as well.
And if you want information about him, I'll be happy to. He's not part of Federal Injury Centers.
But he was trained by Chris.
But his doctors do a really great job. And his heart's in the right place, and I'd be more than proud to tell you about him.
We're working on Ohio. I know we've had presidents ask us to come to Ohio, and all you guys ask us to come to Ohio. We are working on Ohio. I think that would probably be the next one coming up, but as soon as we find out, we will let you know. Anyways, we are going to, yes, Jeanette, that's the address. So Tammy, Jeanette just posted, it is the Best Western. So wrapping up for tonight, we want to thank you guys for hopping on. We had a lot of people on, I think 140. That's great. We always love to see new faces, and don't forget to follow us, to like our page. I think I'm almost up to 1,000 because, you know, this Facebook page like does this big thing that you have 1,000 followers. So trying to increase it to about 5,000 followers.
Right, so right now, like if you're on this page watching, follow. Just hit the follow button. It's not that hard. You're already there. You're there. Like you practically did it already. So definitely do that. And, you know, I'm waiting to get to 100 people on Twitter.
I'm in the Twitter.
Listen, I know Twitter's weird. Like everybody says, Twitter's so stupid and it's dumb. And I agree. Except... Look, I don't want to say more than 100 and whatever characters. I don't want to write a lot. I don't want to waste your time. It's so easy.
I'm in the Twitter.
Come on, just follow me on Twitter.
I'm going to make him a shirt that says #Twitter for Wednesday.
At Fed Injury Center. Twitter, at Fed Injury Center. At the @sign.
We got #You Rock. Thanks, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. At Fed Injury Center. Please, just go follow it. Don't follow anybody else. Do not waste your time on Twitter. I mean, just don't follow everybody else is probably just full of it anyways. And
Not
I'm only
Chris.
full of it in the way you need me to be. At Fed Injury Center. Come on, we can surely hit 100 tonight.
And those of you that don't have Twitter, you can still follow
Just
us on
get Twitter. Twitter's free.
You can follow us on Wednesday night OWCP chats and also our Federal Injury Center's Facebook page as well. I put everything on the same page. Again, don't forget to like, follow, and share this page with your co-workers, your union groups, and we really thank you guys for trusting us. We say this every week to you guys. Thank you so much for trusting us. We hear all the horror stories, and it really touches us. So, again, we went over the CA7, CA17, and the CA16, and the 5 things you can do to protect you and your job
against management.
And make sure people are watching this. Share it on your personal page. Share it to those people that are in the Facebook group chats. I know you guys are always tagging me. No problem. I have no problem. My phone number, when you need to call for a doctor or any question, is 877-787-OWCP. And I'm telling you guys now, at one point I had 289 calls. I had 179 voicemails, and I knocked that out in 3 days with Chris's help with like 10 of them.
But with that said, now she'll never tell you this, but I will. I told you I'm a 5th generation Texan, so let me just say something to you. If she doesn't get back to you today, take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. She's gonna get back to you. She's definitely gonna call you back. Okay, we're gonna respond to every message. Okay, we're gonna return every call. And you know, if you're not satisfied with the time it takes for us to call you back, call us again. That's okay. It doesn't upset us. But we had a guy today that next time he calls, I'm gonna talk to him.
You must have called me like 7 times. I'm like,
come on, man. I mean, take it easy. If you can find a doctor in less than 6 hours from your location, go to that one. But we're just trying to help. So everyone, take it easy. Take it easy.
The phone
we're
number.
We're gonna help you.
The phone number is 877-787-OWCP. And if I'm on a call or listening to a voicemail, you'll get a text that says, "Hi, it's Gini with Federal Injury Centers. I'm on another call," or I'm probably in a meeting as well. That's my cell phone number, which is an 813 area code in Florida. So you guys know I'm in Florida.
And she's not blocking your number. She's hitting this thing so that it doesn't keep ringing, so that you see a message saying, "I acknowledge that you called, and I will call you back."
Yeah. Thank you guys for the sweet, sweet comments. We don't do this to get the comments. We really appreciate it. Again, like we always say, we thank you guys for...
But I'll take any of the nice comments you got.
For trusting us. Oh my God, he's just sucking it all up.
The number again was 877-787-OWCP.
And our website is www.federalinjurycenters.com. And there's all the forms on there. All of our Federal Injury Centers locations. We're Atlanta, Georgia, Clearwater, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. Did I say Clearwater, Florida? I'm going to say it again because I live in Clearwater. So
those guys are crushing it.
Yeah, and then there's Norwood, Massachusetts, Woburn, Massachusetts, and Quincy, Massachusetts. So 8 or 9 locations. There's other doctors that Chris has trained that are amazing in Tucson, Arizona, Racine, Wisconsin, Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, which I'm a part of the team in Chicago as well. Dr. I was going to say Charlie Petrone. Oh my God, Anthony Petrone.
Charlie. Chuck.
Chuck.
Tony Petrone.
I'm a part I'm a part of their team as well. Oh, Fort Myers, Florida. Rockville, Maryland, Vienna, Virginia. That's it.
These are our friends.
Listen,
these are our friends. They're not just my friends, they're our friends. These people are the ones that run to you when the rest of the doctors run away. They want to help you. They're all in on helping you. They are, committed and dedicated. And as a result, some of them are probably going to have to be committed eventually, because there's a lot of you and very few of them. But we're doing the best we can, and we're actively working on finding new doctors. We've got a plan to expand into the west part of the U.S. because there's almost nobody out there, and so we're going to work that plan. And we know that there's a need in Louisiana. We've got a location targeted. We want to hit that location so we can maximize the number of people we can help. We know that New York has nobody
Yeah.
for that population, same as California. And so we're well aware of the locations that are needed. We're going to do the best we can to populate those with good doctors that care.
Nancy, so the phone number is 877-787-OWCP, and the website is www.federalinjurycenters.com. You could find it on the pages. You can go on Federal Injury Center Facebook page and the Wednesday night chats. It's in the box. You can click the website and it'll take you straight. Click the link and it'll take you straight to the website. And for those of you NRLCA stewards and workers, we can't wait to see you guys on Friday. And any other personal questions, we will go ahead and answer everything by the end of tomorrow. And
for management,
oh,
we're coming for you.
I'm gonna drop kick you.
No, I'm not kidding.
No, I'm
No
not kidding.
joking. All kidding aside, these 5 things that I told you about tonight, if everyone does it, it's going to make a change. It must make a change. It has to make a change. So,
Jim, you're 101 follower on Twitter. Awesome.
thank you, Jim. And thanks everyone else.
Yeah.
We're really grateful that you're here watching. We hope we're not wasting your time. Hope it's minimally entertaining at least. And, I just ask you to share this with all your friends, not just one of them. Share it with everybody.
Yeah, share.
And when you share it, put a comment in there at how valuable this is. Because some of this information, look, all this information, I know. If I don't know, nobody does. Your coworkers don't have it.
Yeah.
And I go to these big meetings with 100+ people in the room, and they're all looking around like, what? Where did this stuff, where was this my whole career? I've been in the Postal Service or the VA or wherever more than 20 years. I've never heard of this stuff before. So can we put a stop to that?
Yeah.
Can we start passing the word around? And it starts with you. So everyone, please share this. Email it. Do what it takes. Send it to somebody that needs it. We'd really be grateful to be able to help as many people as we can.
And those of you that are part of union, unions, I put hashtag union solidarity. Today is hashtag Red for Feds for all of our AFGE family out there. We have a lot of AFGE VA stuff coming up, and we're going to be coming to DC to meet with 2 of our favorite people, Mr. Kelly and Mr. Cox, National Vice President and National Secretary Treasurer.
National President.
Yeah, well, what did I say? National Vice President. Oh, Mr. Cox, National President.
We know
oh
who
my
you
God,
are.
yeah. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. We're really excited. We are booked now till the first week in June. So those of you that are ready to book for us coming out to your state conventions and your union meeting, we can go from the second week of June, and then we're going to stop at the end of October. So November.
Most people have to work 12 months of the year. Look, you start getting me working past 6 months, I'm going to get a little bit agitated.
So those of you...
Jerry, you're right. No more denied claims.
Yeah. And again, those of you that want us to come out to your state conventions, please, I know your secretaries and your presidents are asking. Just shoot me a message and I'll get it coordinated. And
rural carriers.
oh my gosh.
Your national convention is in August in Grapevine, Texas. Grapevine, Texas is 20 minutes from where I live.
Oh yeah.
Now listen to me. Rural carriers.
Yes, listen.
20 minutes from where I live. If I'm not on a stage teaching at your national convention, you all failed. Get me there. Somebody talk to somebody who talks to somebody who makes a decision. This is helpful information. And here's the great part. It will cost you $0.
Yes.
I will talk for free. It is not a sales presentation. Those of you that have heard me talk know that I sell nothing. I ask for nothing. I just want to teach. That's all I care about. So your national convention is 20 minutes from where I live. If you don't see me there, it's because not enough of you asked for me to be there. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Grapevine, Texas.
Eileen said drinks with Chris. Yes.
In Grapevine, Texas?
Yes.
That's fine.
Oh, for all the people in Alabama, we are going to do a Facebook Live
No, that's going to be fun.
in Birmingham on April 17th at 7 p.m. What is it? Central Time?
Central Time.
Central Time at our office in Bessemer, Alabama. Just like 15 minutes outside of Birmingham in Dr. Donovan Harper's office. You'll get to meet us. We're going to go over some really fun things. We're going to have some appetizers and drinks. And
show you around the office.
it's
Brand
a
new office. He
first-class
just moved
office.
into it.
Oh my
Spectacular.
gosh. So put that on your calendars for any federal people that are in Birmingham. It's not limited just to a certain agency. Everybody's invited. If you live in the Alabama area and can get to the Birmingham office.
If you live in the state of Alabama or any of the states surrounding it, you should come visit.
So that's
Somebody wanted me to recap the 5 things, so let's don't forget that.
April 17th, 7 p.m. There's gonna be food and drinks, and Chris and me. And we're going to have brochures, whatever you want, and answer all your questions. We're going to be there for like 3-4 hours, so you have us for the rest of the night.
Yeah, she said we're going to have brochures and whatever you want. Probably we're just going to have brochures. But
whatever you want.
Because that other list is a huge list that I don't think we can fulfill. So here's the 5 things that you can do if supervisors refuse to give you a CA1 or 2, they don't send them in on time within 10 days of you filling them out. They don't give you a 17 when you ask for it. They don't adhere to the restrictions of the doctor, or any of a number of other things that can cause you to be unsafe in the workplace or to feel threatened because you did what you're legally able to do. Number 1, file a grievance with your steward. Always file a grievance, okay? Like I always say, if it's against or opposite of the law, it's probably against your contract with your union. So file a grievance. Number 2, contact the EAP, that's Employee Assistance. Number 3, with the assistance of your union, file an EEO. Make that happen. Number 4, OSHA. Contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and ask, is this a violation? If it is, believe me, they're going to do something about it. And number 5, with the assistance of your union, contact the labor board.
Those are the 5 steps. And you can go back and watch the video. Once we're done, I'm going to go #file grievance. Eileen, I won't forget that. I am going to make that shirt. Watch me. You'll be seeing me wearing it in a couple weeks. Yeah. So again, what Chris was saying, for us to be at the national convention, I think there's a guy named Ronnie Stutz.
Sorry, Ronnie.
We know who he is. We know Devin Cassidy very well. If all
He's
of
a
you
great
maybe
guy.
Just email Mr. Stutz and let them know we want to be there.
Don't call him. don't
blow up his email.
Don't shut down the phone lines, okay? But yeah, an email wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
And just contact somebody that can contact somebody that can contact him and let them know that you want us to talk, because there's other people that teach this, but there's nobody that teaches it like this.
And as fun as us.
That they don't exist.
Yeah.
It's just us. So we'd love to help. It's free. If somebody charges you for this, please ask them to never come back, because I'll do it for free forever. So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We know we went a little overboard. We wanted to tell you all this stuff, especially with these 5 thingies. What is the name?
The 5 things. We're all just going to refer to it as the 5 things. Yeah. #5 things.
And we're going to go ahead and answer all the questions after. Again, don't forget April 17th, 7 p.m. in Bessemer, Alabama. We will be there for Facebook Live.
Pack the house.
So go ahead and start telling all your coworkers to come on in, and we will be talking the whole night and answering personal questions and get you taken care of. So
2 hours of the night.
Pass the messages on. Let them know. I'm going to have Dr. Harper put out some flyers telling you guys about the Facebook Live. I'm going to be posting it on Facebook pages. And don't forget to show your support for AFGE, #RedForFeds. Wear your red on Wednesday to show them no more government shutdown. We have to end the government shutdown. So with that, it's going to start and end again.
They ended it.
Today?
A while back.
But you know what I'm saying. Anyways. We're gonna...
#watch the news.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching us tonight. Don't forget to share this Facebook Live. And we'll see you next week.
Adios.
Bye.
Later. Just finish.
Oh.